Despite all of the media warnings and the travel advisories, we traveled to Cancun in February 2023, and we also went off the resort and went into the hotel zone in Cancun. So in this quick video, we're going to show you what to expect if you do decide to go off the resort into the hotel zone in Cancun and some do's and don'ts. During this trip, we were staying at Le Blanc, which is in the hotel zone and only a 15-minute walk from the Nightlife. However, the first night we did want to play it safe because of all the travel advisories, and we had Nacho and one of his drivers, Carlos, take us down into the area. So the first question is, where should you go when you go into the hotel zone? Because there's lots of different options and different clubs. So Coco Bongo, I would say, is the most advertised club down there. Probably you've heard of it, most people have. So if it is your first time going off the resort into this area, that would be a great place to start, especially if you love to watch shows. And my recommendation with this would actually be to try and buy a package at the resort that you're staying in. So usually at the resort, they will have an all-inclusive package, which will include round-trip transportation to and from, an all-inclusive drink package, and entry into the club. Now, this is how we did it the very first time we went off the resort. We were staying at Haven, which is further away. So the price definitely depends on where you are staying. But it averages, I would say, around $59 to $100 per person, all inclusive. Now, we opted not to go to Coco Bongo because we really didn't want the show atmosphere. We wanted more of a club atmosphere. So they suggested Mandala. And it was so much fun. It was more, I would say, of a techno and club music atmosphere, but they also have an outdoor area right on the beach. So it was really fun. They were partying around the pool. You could be inside, outside. And so it was a great choice for us that night. Now, this time we wanted to try something a little different. So we did not buy a package at the resort. We knew that they also sell them once you get there. So Carlos knew exactly where to take us. He drove us right in front of Coco Bongo, and there's people there waiting for you to sell you these packages. When you pull up, you will see the people with the Coco Bongo t-shirts, the handfuls of wristbands, so you know that you're talking to the right people. Again, that's why we went with Carlos the first night, just to make sure we knew that we were going to the right area. Now, this time we opted for something a little bit different. We did like the mini Coco Bongo version, which was across the street, but they also have like pop music, I would say more pop and rap music to dance to. Now, it was pretty early. I want to say it was like 9 p.m. So there was not a lot of people there. So you are able to go in and out with the wristband. So we decided to go across the street to Abalengo, which is actually one of my favorite places there, my favorite clubs. In Playa del Carmen, it is so fun. So we went there for a little bit for a few drinks, for a little bit more of the Latin vibe, and then went back across the street. Now, again, this place was really tiny, but they did have some shows and there was dancing, so it was fun. But I think the next time I would probably just opt to either go back to Mandala or just stay at Abalengo. Now, this time we did not stay out late at all. I would say Carlos picked us up around 11:30 and we were headed back to the resort. Now, the first time we definitely stayed out late, I would say till 3 in the morning. So I'm going to go over some of the do's and the don'ts at the end of this video. So definitely keep watching about that. Now, since our resort was so close to this nightlife area, we love that area so much, we decided to go again the next night. But this time we wanted to give you a completely different perspective. So again, we're just sharing our experiences. We're not telling you to do this or not to do this. We're just sharing our experiences. That way you can make the right decisions for you. Now, this time we actually took the public bus, the $1 bus that goes up and down the hotel zone. And we took that right into pretty much the same area. Now, this time we did not opt for the all-inclusive experience at one of the clubs. We really wanted just to kind of walk around, experience the vibe, see how safe we really did feel, and also try some of the other restaurants and bars. So again, it was early on a Tuesday night, so there was not a lot going on, I would have to say, but we did walk around. We went into Monkey Business and had a drink and then ended up at Abalengo's. I would say the best bet if you do not want to do the all-inclusive packages at one of the clubs, just to walk up and down like we did, kind of see what vibe you're looking for. And usually there's people at the front trying to get you to come inside with menus. So you can kind of check it out that way as well. I would say we only spent a few hours. Again, we just wanted to kind of film, get some content. show the subscribers, what it's like in the hotel zone at night. And then we actually walked home. So we could have taken a bus, we could have taken, a taxi or something like that, but it was really close and it was early. It was like 11 o'clock at night. So I did not feel that it was unsafe to walk back to our resort, which is what we did. So now for some do's and don'ts if you are thinking about experiencing the nightlife in the hotel zone in Cancun. So number one, I would say do opt for the all-inclusive package if it's your first time, because that way you get transportation, you get all-inclusive drinks, entry into the club, and it's a great way to experience it. Now, I will say with the drinks, it is just basic liquor. I've never seen a premium liquor package, at least when I've gone. So just expect that it is just the basic liquor. And if you opt not to do the all-inclusive package, but you still want to go into the hotel zone, then I would say either take the bus or arrange transportation, arrange a taxi through the resort. I wouldn't necessarily wait to get a taxi when I'm downtown. I would make sure that they have some type of affiliation with the resort that you're staying in. Now, I will say for the bus, while I never felt unsafe on it in terms of the people that are on it, it is a public bus. So anybody can get on and get off that bus. Also, it goes very, very fast. So I know you're only paying $1 to take the bus, but sometimes there might be some better options, which is why we opted for Carlos to take us the first night. And I would say you just want to practice the regular safety precautions that you do here in the US or Canada, wherever you are from. And that is, you want to go with a group. You want to stay in control of your drink. You never want to leave your drink. And also, you don't want to get too drunk, because that's really when issues happen. You see the problems with tourists, where tourists are getting killed or injured. And it's usually because there is a lot of alcohol involved. So if you do decide to go here and have fun, but not in excess. Another thing to expect, which is a little bit alarming, especially if it's your first time there, is that often in the male bathrooms, haven't seen it so much in the female bathrooms, is that there are people there trying to sell you drugs. So obviously that is the worst idea in the world, but it often is alarming to people when it's their first time. So you just ignore them. They don't push it on you, but just ignore them, use the bathroom, and then get out. So despite all the travel advisories and the media warnings, I actually felt very safe this last time when I went into the hotel zone in Cancun. And actually is a lot like Vegas, and I actually felt safer here than I do in Vegas, where you see a lot of people drugged out on the streets and homeless. And here you just really don't see that, even though they're selling drugs in the restrooms. But again, it's just my opinion. This is how I felt, and just giving you the information so you can make the decision for you. In the next segment, I'm going to show you some of the daytime footage that we took in this area. During the day, there's lots to do in this area as well. So since we were right there, we just hopped on the bus and took it down into the hotel zone area. So we have lots of restaurants and bars on the beach. This was Almedia, which is literally right there on the beach. And this is in Punta Cancun, where it really has some really nice beaches in this area without seaweed. And we really wanted to do some souvenir shopping. So I believe the shopping center that we went to was called Festival, which has a bunch of shops in it. I know a lot of people go to Mercado 28, which is on more the south of Hotel Zone, but this was perfect for what we were looking for. We just wanted to get some things to bring home. And I don't think it was necessarily any more affordable than the airport, but it was just something fun to do during the day. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, please like and subscribe and keep following us at 3 Days and Tres Noches.